Yes, wow, this is slick looking. Is that working for me? Not really. Oh, okay. What an intriguing national final this is turning out to be. Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Miami. I'm back for another Eurovision reaction video. Today I'm reacting to 8 of the songs for Unser Lied Fur Liverpool. That's Germany's national final. I'm going to listen to react to all 8 and tell you which one I think could win. So, let's kiki. As always, you can use a progress bar if you want to skip to one of the 8 reactions. There are currently 8 songs available, but a 9th song will be decided in the future. That's going to go to a TikTok poll. I'm not going to react to those ones on TikTok because, to be honest, if they were really good, they probably would have gone automatically in. I might just do a separate reaction to whichever of them wins. But in any case, I'm looking forward to this today. I have to admit, last year I thought was an absolute another disaster. It was the most dull, bland Christian pop snooze fest ever. I didn't download any of the songs. I thought actually the winner did a pretty good performance at Eurovision, but the national final itself was just incredibly bland, very forgetful, probably the worst national final, even worse than Denmark. So already looking at the thumbnails for this one, it already looks incredibly more interesting, more varied, much more different viewpoints as opposed to last year where we pretty much just got one point of view. So I'm glad to see that already. I generally like the German songs actually, even though the results have been very poor in the last 10 years. Anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope that it's less Christian-y than last year, although the first song looks literally like Jesus on a Jesus album, the thumbnail, but hopefully he will subvert my expectations. We've got music videos for everyone, which I absolutely not really love. So this is the first one, Will Church, One Under My Secret Bang. Come on, Will, don't be a Christian song. That's a lovely start. Does look like a H&M ad, but nothing wrong with that. I need to fix my lighting. Ooh, he loves trees. I don't know, that looks a little bit like he wants to have sex with a tree. To be honest, it's more interesting than last year already. Nothing like filming a music video in slow-mo, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, this has already got something to it, so I'm feeling optimistic about this here. Okay, it's actually pretty good. I hope you can build on this now because I don't think it's enough with this alone, but with extra, it's very difficult to sing now. I hope you can do this live. You know, the music video is simple. I like when they give them this thing like, okay, you've got a small budget, you've got constraints in your music video, just give us something that gives an idea of where they are and who they are and that type of thing. I really like that. Like this is just in a local park, but it gives us an idea what vibe he's going for. There's a lot of ads for Adidas. I'm not gonna I think that's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a close-up of his Adidas shoes. The focus is very much on that vocal flourishing he's doing in the chorus. That's the main hook of the song. It's pretty. He looks a tiny bit awkward in his performance style, but we'll see what he's like live. Look, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's got some interesting elements, it's got some interesting melody, and that was totally lacking last year, like at all. So this is what I want, stronger songs. And that was a nice crescendo at the end. Oh, he found the river. Okay, hopefully he did find his way home at the end. I don't think he's going to find his way into my downloads, but I did enjoy that, and that again leaves me very optimistic for. So I'm trying to get more light. It's very dark here today in Miami, which is meant to be sunny, but it's not very sunny. I want my money back. I'm not going to download that, but it's not far off being something I would download. So really happy. It's too early. Let's wait and see. Next up we got Gurdy with Melodies, I hope. Now I have seen Pat. Patty has a lot of subscribers. She's got 360,000 subscribers, so she must be already pretty established. That's a lot. And she's got, I'm not going to say it's a hurdy-gurdy, but it looks a little bit like a hurdy-gurdy, and her name is Gurdy. So I'm wondering, is the Gurdy in her surname actually of a hurdy-gurdy? I know what that is because I did a project on musical instruments when I was around 10, and hurdy-gurdy is one of the instruments that I covered. Anyway, the song's called Melodies, I hope, which is kind of cheesy, but could also be kind of fun. Paddy, One Under My Secret Bang. Okay, this is like 50 times more interesting than last year. I think that is a hurdy-gurdy. I think she likes board games. I think she likes role-playing games with elves and dwarves and like dice rolls. D20. I do as well, by the way. That's how I know all that stuff is. Joe, this is almost reminding me of the Norse pop that we get in Norway. Oh yeah, lovely. Yeah, this is really great so far. Come on, Paddy. It's very Eurovision-y, but yeah, it's great. This is already way better than last year. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that, but yes. 2 songs in and we're already doing better. Ooh, there's the hurdy-gurdy instrumentation, lovely. Oh, she's just cranking it. I know she's playing as well, okay. I thought she was just like winding it like a music box. Some of the ideas in the music video are like that background looks a little bit cheap. It looks a bit homemade painted. But yeah, hopefully they'll give them a little bit of budget now for the national final. And I like that she's going for this kind of like elf, nymph lady. Yeah, melody-wise it's not totally there for me, but the spirit of it, the vibe, the atmosphere it's creating is very, like, feels very natural. It feels a little bit Irish as well. Lovely instrumental bit. I actually like the backdrop. I just want it a little bit more expensive looking, and I think actually it's good for the show. Her hurdy-gurdy is lovely looking. I love that green. Yeah, she's giving me like fairy princess vibes. Ooh. I hope she can do this vocally now because there's some really lovely melodies in here. But it sounds like it's hard to sing as well. She seems a little bit more comfortable as a performer compared to the first dude. It's very Melody Grand Prix. Like that for me is very much a song I could see a Melody Grand Prix and actually being a contender to qualify as well. So not just being there to fill up space, but actually competitive. Look, it's not incredibly wow. It's very solid. Again, huge improvement on last year. I'm gonna stop saying that because yeah, like it's quite safe to say that. I know the community is gonna love that. That is a very Eurovision-y song. It sounds very folk pop. It almost sounds like an Irish Viking ditty. Plus their styling is quite Game of Thrones, RPG board game, elf, nymph queen. So yeah, like that's a lot of interesting stuff to latch onto, but possibly some people will think that it's a little bit cheesy or quaint or whatever, but whatever. You can't please everyone. You just got to make sure that you please somebody. So last year, nobody was pleased. This year, I think the fact that some people are really going to love that is a good thing. Let's go to our third song. Let's keep up this momentum if we can. It's by Trong, and they're saying, dare to be different. Dodgy title, doesn't matter. We won't judge a song by its title, one of them a secret bang. But yes, it does. He's kind of starting with a little bit of a handicap. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I love that Asian influence starting. Oh, okay. Yes, wow, this is slick looking. Oh, I was not expecting this. Whoa, what happened to Germany? They found some interesting people in their music scene. Oh, I like this. It's getting into, he's got great dance moves. And there's a really clear concept here. Again, it's going for a niche in a really focused way. It looks like it's J-pop influence, K-pop influences. Okay, course. Visually, I really like it. Sonically, it sounds a bit 80s fad cliche, but yeah, it looks very well rehearsed. The choreography is super slick. I love his styling as well. He's got an androgynous look. Just wish the chorus was a little bit stronger. Yeah, he's really selling it. This is like very good quality dancing. He's really hitting the spots, but he's not just hitting the moves, he's doing it with personality, attitude. There are times now where it does look like it's a boy band as opposed to him on his own. So maybe a bit of styling in terms of color difference would help to differentiate him as the lead. Yeah, lyrically, there's nothing really special here. Kind of ironic considering the song's called Dare to Be Different. He's chosen quite generic lyrics. I like the Asian influence at the start. It's a shame that he didn't lean more into that, because that would have really made him and the song stand out as being something very different from not just in this final, but in all the other national finals as well. This bit is awesome. Yeah, you can hear it now coming in more, but I wish it was even more prominent. Yeah, some really great ideas in here. This is fantastically shot, like really simple. They're just in a room with white walls, but it looks so slick. And he just looks like such a quality performer, like really. Oh, he's got a banging body as well, because there's another song here called I'm Sorry Babe. I think he's just Vietnamese background. My God, he's got abs for days. So I think he should probably pop those out in the national final. Let's face it, abs. He was showing it in there. Actually, he had the crop top, but I didn't notice the abs. He needs to paint them in a little bit more. But yeah, I imagine he's got Vietnamese roots. I loved that Vietnamese sound that he had coming in. And I think a lot of the song sounds a little bit of this 80s vibes that we're getting a lot of. And adding that Vietnamese influence in makes it stand out a little bit different, something a little bit more unusual. The song is called Dare to Be Different, and he dared to be different, but in some ways a lot, and in other ways he did not make any dare at all. It was very risk-free, but still that was really impressive. The dance moves, the choreography, the spectacle that they put on was really high quality. He looks like a really professional performer. So I don't think he's going to forget the words on stage. I think this should look really slick. This could have a Chanel moment on the stage if they can bring something even more elevated. Not just having them dancing as well, maybe something visually happening in the background or some like story. But I would hope that if this does win, that has a little bit more of a revamp, more Asian influence in. Really great. Again, it's nice for me just to be excited about the songs this year. That was the thing last year, is I felt everything was so flat. And this year I feel like I have something to say, or they make me feel something, which is what I want from a national final. Okay, we're doing great. Let's keep going. We've got our fourth song. It's called Lonely Spring, Misfit. Wanna Know My Secret Bang? Oh, they got the F-bomb out pretty early. Okay, going for more like a American style teen angst rocker vibe. Oh, well, maybe not a teen. He looks a little bit older than a teen, but you know what I mean. Yeah, in that same kind of vein as like Good Charlotte and God, I can't remember these bands off the top of my head. Good Charlotte, Weedus, that type of style. Yeah, again, something really different. And it's got a lot of personality to it. I think the lyrics are lyrics are a little bit repetitive, but they are kind of funny and they're a little bit different and unusual. Yeah, this is great now. This is what we wanted last year in terms of just something that's a real mix-up. This is very different from the first three songs. Like, we've already had so much variation in these four songs we've had. Really great. This song has great ideas in that it stands out a lot. I'm not hearing a melody that's wow. Okay, a little bit of a mix-up here. That's welcome. There's definitely people who are going to like this. I think this can see this be some people's number one. Not maybe enough, but it might be a little bit polarizing. Definitely people are going to really like this. Okay, not sure what's happening now. Okay, music video. It's gone downhill a little bit. Why not though? Rock out in the cinema. Get free tickets. Why not? Okay. Actually, I like this epilogue. Oh, I like that actually. I really like that change of pace. Do you know what? I feel like they should have teased that earlier in the song. I feel like halfway through they should have broken it up as well and then had that longer breakup at the end, because that was really nice. I wonder how many people will have already left though, or lost interest by the end. I think if they had that in the middle, maybe some of the people who were less interested into the like heavy rocky vibe might have stayed around a little bit longer. But still really good. I'm not going to download that. I do like songs in that genre when they've got a strong melody, but the melody there wasn't strong enough for me. But again, I'm going to say it, this national final is a billion times better than last year, so I'm already just happy. Look, we're going back to another lady. Her name is Anica Russo, and she's saying Once Upon a Dream. Who knows what that means? One number bang. I don't even know what we're going to get, which is good. Keep me on my toes. Ooh. It sounds slightly funereal, giving me some slight Victoria from Bulgaria vibes. Very pretty backdrop though with these flowers, I like that. Giving me a thinky singer-songwriter feel. I like that plucky violin as well. Okay. We're almost a minute in and I don't think we've got a chorus yet. Yes, very Victoria. She's a fan. Yes, I am slightly worried that this doesn't seem to have a very definitive chorus, unless it's coming now or soon. Yes, this is very wandering. It feels like it's meandering. Oh, okay. I like her jumper. Okay, that was necessary because I was about to fall asleep there. Was it Chris? It was definitely shocking. Yes, I think it was successful. Okay, we're back to the other side of her. Yes, that was jarring. It was definitely a change up, which I thought was necessary because I was getting a bit bored. Okay, good, we're back into it again. Oh, another mix up. That felt like a key change of sorts. It's definitely succeeded in being interesting. Okay, yeah, like that was the start was very boring. And then she mixed it up and she totally surprised me, took me off. I hope that she doesn't lose too many people now in that first minute and 20, I think it was, before we got to that very sudden change in pace. And then the rest of it was like all over the place, undulating up and down and different levels and layers. I don't know if the melody I don't know if the melody had a hook that makes me want to go download that, but it felt like an interesting experience to sit through. Plus, it makes me think that she's like an interesting person and very quirky, and I'm really curious to see now what she's going to do on stage. So it grabbed my attention and made me interested to see what she has to offer, and I would definitely sit through that again. And that is obviously one of the things you need to look for in a Eurovision song is, does it pique people's attention? Do they want to see it again? Do they want to vote for it? So yeah, I'm interested in that. I wonder, could it be a little bit of a ninja, but we've already got some big hitters, so possibly not. Okay, now the next song is one of the reasons why I was saying at the start that I already think this is going to be more interesting national final, because our next act is Lord of the Lost, and the song is called Blood and Glitter, which is an amazing title. Plus the lead singer looks like he's like glam rock or something. The styling is very interesting. But this is Lord of the Lost, one number bang.
Blood and glitter, sweet and
okay.
Glitter, we're so happy we could die.
Vocals sounds very familiar, but I can't remember who. Okay. Definitely change of pace. Loving the variety this year. Love him standing on one leg with these bird feathers, looking very flamingo. The vocals are very Alexander Rhine, was it Rhine? From Norway. Oh, is that working for me? Not really. I feel like little tiny punches. I love their styling though. I love his half legging.
glitter, sweet and bitter. We're so happy we could die.
Oh, that's very Bowie, isn't it? Yeah, it's very David Bowie. That's what the vocal reminds me of. Why? They cooked confetti out really early. They didn't want to wait until the end. They're just like, fuck it, let's just go. Boom. Oh, we're getting some laser noises now. Look, it's a talking point. No one's gonna forget this, but I'm not hearing anything that makes me want to go run download it straight away. Yes, that fast bit sounds a little bit awkward. Oh, they got more confetti. Or is this the same confetti before? They just shot it using it twice. Some electronic elements coming in now, which I like, and I feel are very necessary. I'm not mad on the lasers, the other electronic elements, that's the ones I'm talking about. This bit now sounds stronger melody-wise. When the guitars are coming in heavy and they've got more of melody to play. Lovely mix up. And we get to see them a bit closer up as well, making that connection. They really are like covered in blood and glitter, taking it very literal. This isn't much glitter as confetti, but never mind. I kind of want to see someone roll around in glitter with all the blood on. Okay, really interesting. Do you know what? Oh wait, I'm guessing I'm going to switch it off now because it's come to 3 minutes. Okay, so I did watch the last minute, but it was essentially just an incredibly epic guitar solo, which I'm going to cut out because I just want to keep the video a little bit shorter. But I actually quite like that epic guitar solo at the end. I wish there was a way they could include that maybe in the middle or to break up maybe before the last third. Okay, interesting. Very curious to see how this will do. I think that they let a song like this in partly because last year, I think they didn't let in Eskimo Callboy because they felt maybe in a final of 6 songs, something that would have stood out so much that it would have attracted maybe a bit too much of a protest vote, in that not necessarily people wanted Eskimo Callboy, but they just didn't want the other 5 and they would have gone towards them. I still think that would have gotten them a better result. With this, with 9 in the final, plus we've already got kind of another rockish song with Lonely Spring, I think they're probably calculating that people aren't just going to veer towards this to kind of like protest, because there are other good songs. So I feel like they are more confident putting this in, and if it does win, it'll be because people like it, as opposed to saying the rest of the songs are crap or this was the only one that stood out, because it's not the only one that stands out in this year, but something like this would have absolutely stood out a billion miles last year. Next we've got Frida Gold, and she's saying Alle Frauen in müde. I think it means all the girls in something. Anyway, nice to see a song in German. One of nummer secret band. Another longer song. Oh wow, she's been shot with an arrow. A little bit like Belarus, Alexeyev. And we've got this nice Spanish starting. Very intriguing. Oh, she's also been shot. Everyone's getting shot. They should probably be more panicked if they're getting shot. Again, this is very alluring. It's drawing me in because I want to know what she's going to do.
Alle Frauen in mir sind müde.
Ooh.
Sie waren viel zu lange.
This is very different. What an intriguing national final this is turning out to be.
Alle Frauen in mir sind müde.
Oh, I really don't know how this is going to go. There's so many different songs and viewpoints. It shows off the German music industry in a very positive way, that there's much more depth, because last year made it look like there was no German music industry. She's got a very arty style to her, and she looks like she's performing this well. Sorry, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I hope we get a little bit more story now, because they've started with this arrow thing. I feel like maybe they should fill in the gaps for us a tiny bit. Wonder if there's lyrics now. No, they're German lyrics. Oh, we got another lady who's been shot. She seems okay with it though. It's definitely a vibe. It's got something to it. It's got a depth to it. I feel like it would be very jury baity, I don't see the televote responding to this massively though, unless the staging was really drastic or dramatic. She's got great dancing and she's making it believable, so that's going to help her obviously in the national final. There's a lot of pissed off looking women who've been shot in the back. I'd be pissed off too if someone shot me in the back. Getting a little bit more build up now towards the end. I feel like I want an extra layer more now. And she does have time. No, she's at 3 minutes. I love that it's in German now. We very rarely hear songs in German. I wonder if that partly due to Netherlands last year. Okay, we've gone over the 3 minute mark. So she's gonna have to edit. Love the visuals though here, this big open warehouse, these ladies looking very serene. All different types of women from Germany. Okay, yeah, that was interesting. I think it wasn't jazz, but it almost felt in that same vein of that kind of like low-key, very introspective, very heartfelt, sincere, autobiographical. I enjoyed it, and I think it was definitely easy to sit through, and there's some cool imagery. The song didn't massively jump out at me, but I can see, I think it's going to be, some people are going to have a soft spot for that, and it's definitely a different vibe, more chill, introspective, softer, not like screaming for attention, as opposed to someone like Trong, who's very like in your face and loud and full of energy and bubbles. That's a little bit like less bubbly, but a lot of people like that. So again, I think that is competitive. I feel there's a lot of competitive songs. I don't feel any of the songs I've seen so far have really jumped out and been like, I am the winner, everyone else is just filling up time, which I suppose makes sense, because if there was a jump out song, then they probably would have internally selected it. So this for me seems like quite a level playing field. Even picking last place I think is difficult. I really do feel like almost it's going to come down to a lot of like who's going to watch the show, because there's so many different styles and it just depends what style you like really. Okay, last but not least we have René Miller. He's got 20,000 subs. Okay, so he must be pretty established, and the song is called Concrete Heart, and he's a chap. Wanna know my secret plan? I like Concrete Heart as a title. We've already got Heart of Steel with Ukraine. Okay. Okay, this feels a little bit more like last year. I think he's lost me a little bit, and he's gonna have to save me in the chorus. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. I don't think anything in this national final is bad. It's not wowing me massively. Love Me With a Concrete Heart. Okay. Interesting metaphor there. I am starting to think ahead now. Who's my winner? I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to start my top 10 now. How's this doing for me? It's fine. It's not worsening. It's not getting better. It's quite backgrindy. Not necessarily in a bad way. It does feel more standard. Like, I think we had like quite interesting viewpoints from other people. This doesn't sound like it has anything new or fresh in it. It's more kind of like run of the mill. So I would be a little bit disappointed this win, because I don't think it represents how different and varied the final is this year. This sounds like almost like that girl Lena from that girl from 2018, 2017, Perfect Life. Yeah, look, it's hard for me to say now if I just felt like maybe I was being a little bit harsh there, because you know, when I get through 8 songs, you do get more fatigued towards the end. And you know, when you hear something that's not necessarily in your preferred style, yeah, so maybe I might have reacted differently to that if it was the first song I heard. You know, if you swapped him and Will Church, Possibly, like, my impression now is that Will Church's was better, but I do wonder if I had swapped them, maybe I would have thought that was better. Who is my number one? Honestly, I think it's hard to say. The two that kind of like stuck out for me being the most fun and most likely for me to download, I would say were Gurdy and Trong. I loved Trong's confidence and performance style. I thought the song was a bit too mediocre in the choruses, but that's something he can possibly work on or revamp. Gurdy had more of a like epic Norse Viking traditional countryside pop vibe to me. But yeah, it was a bit cheesier and a bit more Eurovision-y, but what's wrong with sending a Eurovision-y song to Eurovision? I think the fact that she's got the hurdy-gurdy and she's got an interesting styling, she's got quite a lot of subscribers, so I assume that she's pretty decent live as well. Obviously, I think a lot of people are going to be talking about Lonely Spring and Lord of the Lost. Lord of the Lost more because I think it's more out there. The song for me just probably wasn't as strong as its own. Obviously, visually, they make the biggest impact out of anyone, because they're covered in blood and they're covered in glitter. It's going to tend to get people's attention. But the song itself, I actually liked that guitar solo at the end, but it wasn't part of the song. It was the outro. There were interesting parts to it, but I do feel like it's relying a bit too much on how shocking looking it is. I thought Frida was very interesting. She mixed it up with that very sultry feel. Anica Russo was kind of all over the place. I'm very curious to see what she gives. Look, I will leave my rankings here, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to put. But the main thing is this is way, way, way better than last year. The thing I remember from doing this video last year was how many people were really unhappy last year with how they felt that they weren't represented, and that they wanted Eskimo Callboy to go. I know they changed their name to Callboy to go, and it was kind of just ignored by the broadcaster. So this feels like that feedback wasn't ignored. This gives a positive impression of the German music industry, whereas last year was a little bit like, if you're not an incredibly boring Christian rock singer, you don't exist. So yeah, really great. I don't have one I'm like massively rooting for, so I'll kind of be watching this national final with a lot of interest in who Germany picks. And for me, it'll come down to who does the best live show. I don't think anyone has a standout. They've got this in the bag or it's theirs to fuck up. I feel like it is who can connect, perform their song well, give some interesting visual candy for us to consume. Okay, I really like that. I'm so happy that Germany is on the upturn. Hopefully now this will lead to them being out of the bottom 5. That is probably the main goal if I was the German head of the delegation. So, as always, please leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know which of the songs you like the most. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.